Hey, welcome back to Road Tripping with Rachel. I'm Rachel. Thanks so much for joining me on this road trip. So, welcome to my kitchen. I'm just sitting here snapping some green beans. I picked these up at the farmer's market and I need to get some meal prep done for this week at work. It just makes things so much easier when just the lunches are packed and ready to go. So I'm going to take a moment and just kind of chit chat a little bit about something I've been thinking about here for the last couple of weeks. So I love a good homemaking vlog. I love to listen to and see how are they organizing their pantries, what are they cooking, cleaning, organization. I just love all those things. I just genuinely enjoy them. But they're always done with the assumption that the people who are watching it have families. So I don't know how anyone else feels. I don't even know if anybody else who watches these are married or single or whatever. But I'm single. And the whole thing with homemaking is you are creating a space that you call home. You're making home. So I just don't understand why that tends to be associated with married couples who have children. Because from where I'm standing, I am a homemaker. Granted, I work outside of the home as far as in the traditional sense goes. I have a job, 401k, benefits. I have all those things. But I am also a homemaker. I don't know if people who get married really young actually realize this, and I'm happy to take some flack for this. I'm just sharing my opinion on the matter. But when you get married young and then you have kids and you and your husband choose to have only one person go out and work and the other be stay at home, that single people, we do it all. I am the breadwinner and I'm the person making the bread. I do bring home the bacon and I fry it. I do it all. And I choose the stuff that goes in my home. Now, granted, I have a roommate, so a lot of it's mutual decisions at this point. I had the main parts and then stuff that we've added in, she's had a lot more of a contribution to. But I don't understand why I would have to be married to be a homemaker. Because as you can tell, I'm sitting here snapping beans, something a homemaker does. I bake sourdough, something a homemaker does. I clean, something a homemaker does. I do the laundry, once again, something a homemaker does. I have attempted to plant flowers. You may or may not do that if you're a homemaker. I keep track of my calendar. Actually, I keep track of most of my family's calendar, whether I live with them or not. I help plan things for my cousin group to do. That was the wrong side. So you can understand why when someone talks about being a homemaker and then they only relate it to those who are married, I always blink at that because I'm well, no, I make my house a home as well. I make my house comfy and cozy. I practice hygge for crying out loud. I'm the one who's making sure all these things are happening in my life because I don't have someone else who's doing it for me. And I don't know what anyone else's opinion on this is. This is literally just how I feel about it. And I wish more people talked about online how you can be married and be a homemaker. You can be married without kids and be a homemaker. You can be married with kids and working outside of the home and still be a homemaker. Being a homemaker, yes, I don't want to diminish the amount of work that a stay-at-home mom does. But you're a homemaker if you are making your house into a home where your friends, your family, where they can come and they can rest and they can feel comfortable in. If you're doing those things, you are a homemaker. Comfy and cozy. having your style, decorating, all the things. I mean, you're not a homemaker because you know how to make soap, or because you can, or because you do, you homeschool, although those are all things that a homemaker can do. But, or you can be the mom who has a business that's worked out of her home and still takes care of everything. And for that matter, you could be a dad who works from home and helps take care of the kids while your wife is working. I actually once worked with someone where that was exactly the situation they were in. His wife was a doctor, and so he actually was the homemaker. He had a part-time job that he went to, but he did most of the child care for their family, as well as like things like laundry and like making a lot of their meals, because his wife was a doctor and she was out and about. But I think we need to just keep in mind, like when we're talking about like maybe a particular lifestyle, or if we're talking about like how a person or a family chooses to run their home, that it's not just married people or stay-at-home moms who are fulfilling the role of making a house comfortable and welcoming for others to be in. I mean, like if you've been following my channel, you know that I really enjoy cooking and getting out and traveling, which the traveling is like the road tripping with Rachel part of my brand. But I also love like health and fitness and trying new recipes and tackling my health like via food and learning new things and being adventurous and like learning how to do different things. Over Christmas, like I learned how to make soap. Now it was successful, it's usable, but I mean, probably not going to be my strong point if I'm being honest. And it's the same as with it's a lot of things. I think single people, especially like single people as we get older, we age out of the like acceptable ages to be single. And if we're not seeing anybody, which I'm not, but if you know someone, send them my way, that we forget that we're people too. And there are things that like we like and enjoy doing that are completely apart from our like marital status. I posted in a video here, I think it was when I announced that I was moving, that I had made a decision that I was going to be making choices that were for me, that I wasn't going to sit around and just wait and be like, oh yeah, like when I get married, I'm going to do this or that. Because the older I get, the harder it is actually to meet someone. And also the older you get, the more baggage people have. Like, I'm 33, I have baggage, I know I have baggage. Now, is it like super serious baggage? I don't really think so at this point. Probably if I went to a counselor, they'd tell me differently. But, like you've lived a little bit of life, you have thoughts and opinions. It's a little harder to change as you get older. But also, and now at that point, I'm making choices for me that isn't based around like supposedly being able to one day get married. Some of the things I've done, like obviously, like I moved, like I moved because that was what was going to be best for me and best for my extended family, as far as like my parents and grandparents. Last year, I bought a Christmas tree. Like I bought one that I really liked. I bought a star to put on the top of it that I really liked. I have begun like keeping my sourdough and like getting like storage containers, and which sounds silly, but like, oh, I don't want to take up too much space because then I'll just have to clear it out or get rid of it if I ever get married. I bought myself dishes. Like I have like cooking implements that I use. I have my KitchenAid that my sister got for me for Christmas, and my brother-in-law. Like single people, like as we get older, we have to live life on our terms, and we have to be able to do the things that we like and the things that we enjoy, and not have it be tied to whether or not we're coming home to somebody. And when you assume that what someone likes to do is dependent on their marital status, you're kind of demeaning that person. If someone likes to travel, then they like to travel. Now, can they afford to travel? That's a totally different thing. You know, if someone enjoys cooking and soap making and, you know, planting a garden. I don't know if anyone's told you, but whether or not you have a garden, that doesn't mean anything when we're talking about like whether or not you're married. My grandmother put out a garden for years, and my grandfather passed away before any of us grandkids were born. It's not like it's this like huge insurmountable thing. You treat it like it is. All that really does is like it causes a little bit of resentment, if I'm completely honest. And that same thing, like I posted a video about like the church and like handling singles, but I feel like this is also can tie into here, is that, you know, like churches, like don't plan all of your events like they're all for couples. You know, plan stuff that it just doesn't matter if you're married or not whenever you go to an event. And I think it also extends to like even in churches today, you know, when you plan like, I mean, I have no problem with Valentine's Day, like go on ahead, do it, Singles Awareness Day, whatever, you know, but when everything, it's not just like, oh, this is a fellowship opportunity. Like when you plan it as though it's like supposed to be like a date night for mom and dad, that's when it's like, okay, so we're cutting out everyone who doesn't meet that particular life stage. Or we're cutting out, or when it like, it's a bunch of couples who are all going to dinner. It's like, invites the single friends. It's okay. Now granted, I don't want to be a third, fifth, or seventh wheel, but you can invite me to go do stuff if you're married and you're my friend. Like, I'm not going to get upset about that. It just means, and I said this to someone a year ago, that, you know, it doesn't bother me that like the people like I was hanging around with in a small group, that they were all married and I wasn't. I just told them, I said, there are going to be some things that are going to come up I have zero input on. None. There's nothing for me to say or to contribute because I'm not in that life stage. But, but you know, like whenever you are telling single people, well, maybe you're not trying, or you suggest online dating, or you tell us to go to the bar, like there's a lot of problems there with that statement. Like, one, I don't personally have any interest in going to a bar. Two, like, don't suggest online dating to me. Like, if you're going to suggest that I do online dating, you should find out what sites I've already been on. You don't make it into your 30s and have never been on any sort of dating site at all. And quite frankly, please set me up with someone. If my singleness and you wanting to define the things that I like and enjoy and is determined in your mind by my marital status, then please set me up with someone. Please do. Go through your brain and pick out the single men that you know. I'm talking about church people at this point. Please pick out the single men that you know. Like, make a list of the single men that you know, and then give my number to the ones you think I would genuinely like. If it's that difficult, if my marital status bothers you that much, easy peasy, set me up with someone. And if you can't think of any single people, that's not an issue on my part. That just proves how difficult it is for a single Christian woman to meet people who are decent. That's all that really proves. So that was kind of a bit of a deviation from us just talking about being a homemaker and not judging someone based off of their marital status. That was a bit of a rant, but it's something that I've been thinking about, and really this is just me processing my thoughts with y'all. But please comment. If you think I'm off on this, tell me, and let's get into a discussion about this. All right, I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe so that way you'll find out whenever I do all of my uploads. Bye.